Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. I've got a really good one for you today because we're going to cover banking and all the problems with the banking industry right now and why you need to be leery, regardless of what bank you deal with. You need to be leery of banks, to say the least. Before I get into it, please take a second to hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Please share this with all your friends and colleagues. Please don't forget, we have an email list that you guys can sign up for. It's absolutely free. It's in the video description below. Take a look at that. Let's get into it. Bank of America has issued a warning for all its customers. And this warning was for stocks in general. Oh-Sun Kwong is an analyst at Bank of America, and he is saying that we are seeing the stock market overvalued like we've never seen it before, which is something we all know. And he's saying that it's ripe for a correction. Now, you know, some people say yes, some people say no, but you need to take a look at this. The article's below, but Mr. Kwon is talking about how in 2018, we had a 20% correction in stocks. He sees it being much bigger, and he sees that everything is overpriced right now and completely in the stratosphere. So we need to look at this right now. Banking is a real problem right now. We're seeing more bank closures right now than we've ever seen. Branches closed. We're seeing that happening for absolutely no reason. Now, here's the thing. Internationally, banks are closing branches all over the place. And I'm going to cover a bunch of this with you. And you're seeing more closures for no reason. Now, the health crisis was, you know, an issue that we've had over the last year and a half, where banks would close because people were sick or, you know, for things like that. Well, what we're seeing is staffing problems now with banks. And, you know, it's absolutely unbelievable because, to give you an idea, Montana, the state of Montana, they had a rule that a bank could not close without giving its customers 48 hours notice. They just passed an emergency order that says that they can close anytime they want, and they don't have to give anybody any notice. So you're going to start seeing this more and more in Montana. Now, there's people out there going, Dan, I don't live in Montana. I could care less about Montana. Okay, that being said, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, all these branches are suffering right now from staffing problems. Now, it's not just health crisis issues. It is from not having enough people to work there. Now, people can write me and say, Dan, nobody wants to work at Subway. Subway's awful, and it's terrible, and it sucks. Okay, I get it. Well, working at a bank branch, you would earn enough money to pay rent and have a household as a bank teller, or, you know, someone that works in the financial department. And again, the banking community, when you work there, especially places like Bank of America and Wells Fargo, they all have these different departments and different managerial positions where they try to upsell people. So you may start as a teller, but then you can go on and become a, you know, a better employee and make more money. It's available out there. So this is a problem with every institution. It's not just one. It's not just one bank. It's not just Bank of America. It's not just Wells Fargo. It is absolutely everything that's having the problem here in the United States and abroad. So this is getting worse because the banks are, I feel more fearful now than I ever have with a bank and keeping my money in a bank. You need to look at this because they're not as stable as they were even a few years ago. Now, to continue with Bank of America, Mark Cabana is in charge of U.S. rate strategy. He is talking about illiquidity in the $14.8 trillion treasury market. Now, he's warning that because of short-term rates and long-term rates, hedge funds and investment funds are potentially losing money. There are two large funds right now that already lost a substantial amount of money. Now, how does this affect the average Joe? This could bring the entire banking system down. So you need to look at this, and you need to look at where your money's at and is it safe in the bank. We are seeing more and more banks close right now. Now, as far as bank closure goes, I could run through the entire country with you, but I'm just going to cover some of them. Bank of America has got a slew of closures. And for example, in the Palo Alto area, you've got 7 branches that are closed right now. And they're recommending that you check the website to make sure your local branch is open, because some of these may never reopen again. Ohio's largest bank is closing 7 branches of its Fifth Third Bank. Weird name, Fifth Third, but it's their largest bank in Ohio, and they're closing that. And then in New Jersey, Ocean First Bank is closing multiple branches as well. And again, guys, if you are a bank customer of banks that are closing, be leery of this. They may not reopen. They may not open for days. We're seeing this internationally as well. And what do you do if you can't get to your bank for 5-6 days? What do you do? How about this? In India right now, there's 21 banking holidays in India. 21. How many days are in November, guys? They don't celebrate Thanksgiving, so there's no holiday there. But think about that. So 21 of the 30 days, plus then you get the weekends. I mean, when are they going to be open? They're going to be open 3 or 4 days this month. So what do you do if you cannot get access to your bank? What do you do? Okay? Again, prepare for this, first of all. I'm in Laguna Beach today. This place is amazing. You've got all these different places to walk in. I love coming out here when I'm the only one here. Just really crazy, you know? But just absolutely a stunning place. Look at this. It's just amazing, guys. You need to prepare for the coming problems. If the stock market tanks, some say it will, some say it won't, but banks are heavily leveraged right now. They're going to have nothing but problems if things go south. So will it affect the closures of these banks? I think it will. And you're seeing banks having staffing problems now. Bank of America is finally, you know, being honest and saying, hey, we're having staffing problems. We don't have enough people to work our branches. People are calling in sick. So we'd rather just close the entire branch down instead of having, you know, 1 or 2 people there by themselves, which make total sense. Now, the other thing with Bank of America that's maddening about this is that they have things that I've learned from friends. And I went into a Bank of America, I don't bank there, so I went to Bank of America and asked questions about this. And Bank of America has full featured banks and semi-featured banks. And what that means is, if you walk in there, they are discouraging people from going and talking to a teller. They don't want you to go to a teller. They want you to go and use the ATM. Okay, well, what if I need to do a wire transfer? What if I need a cashier's check? What if I need to deposit you know, multiple checks into different accounts and need cash back? Oh, then you got to talk to a teller, okay? But certain banks cannot do certain things. So they can take your deposit, they can issue cashier's check, they can't do wire transfers, they can't let you talk to the bankers, can't do loans, things like that. So you're going to see more and more of this. Now, with the elderly, and this is happening in Ireland and in the UK, where they're trying to discourage people from going into the bank. They want these people to do everything online. Well, the problem with it is if you're elderly and you're not computer savvy, you know, then you're not entitled to walk into the branch. That's insane, guys. That people want customer service. And here's the other thing. Regardless of how much money you have in the bank, ask questions. Is this branch going to close? Because here's the thing with all the statistics about this. When a bank closes, it affects the poorest person. It does not affect the rich people. It affects the poorest people in the community. So look at these rocks. Isn't this cool? Splashing about. Just absolutely stunning. There's that little bridge I walked through. So, be leery of the banks right now. If you have $5 in there, ask questions. Hey, are you guys ever thinking about closing this bank? And if they ever do close, find out why they were closed. They're not gonna, I don't know, you know, ask somebody, because you wanna know if they're going to continue operation or if you're gonna have to start looking for a new branch to attack. It's just beautiful. The water's really clear, but it's really cold right now, so you won't be seeing me out here. So, just absolutely a stunning place. Now, this is not just a problem here in the United States. Barclays Bank is telling all its customers, we don't want to interact with you, we want you to use the ATM. Again, the elderly, how do they do this? Lloyds Bank and Halifax Bank, they're closing another 44 branches. Now, okay, consolidation, whatever. Well, guys, in the last year, that equals 100. They've already closed 56 branches, so that's 100 branches. In the last year and a half, it's 144 branches that they've closed. A problem, okay? Now, Bank of Ireland, Ulster Bank, is a big bank in Ireland. They're done with customers. They're absolutely issuing a letter to everybody telling them, you've got 6 months to get your money out of the bank because we're done. Now, if you knew your bank was going to close in 6 months, would you want to have any interaction with them? Would you go get a new loan? They're probably not even issuing new loans and things like that now. But again, they're giving people 6 months. At least they're giving them a warning. We didn't want to do this overnight, so we're giving them a warning. All these stories are in the video description below. There's an absolute ton. But again, they're done. They're done with the interaction of dealing with deposits. And again, this is worldwide. This is a problem with the banking system and the bank branches worldwide. You need to make sure that you do not have a lot of money in your bank right now. You need to go into things like, if you have to have money in a bank, deal with credit unions, deal with community banks where you can sit down and see the financial conditions of the bank. They will show that to you, okay? And you can ask questions about this. Bank of America, unless you're high up there, you can ask certain questions, but financially, they're not gonna care about 99% of us right now. So there was a survey done where they asked people, will you ever go into a bank branch again? And over 25% said that they will never go into a bank branch again. What happens if you need to make a big purchase? What happens if you need to get a few $1,000s? You can't get that from the ATM. Most people have limits of just a few $100 in their ATM card, and they can't get a substantial amount. So you're gonna see real problems with all of this. But again, with everything that's happening in the market right now, if you do not think that this is serious, if you do not think that these warning signs are real, you are kidding yourself right now. So watch how much money you have in the bank. Look at these bank closures. It does not matter if they're independent banks, small banks. This is not just a US problem. It's not a Canada problem. This is a worldwide problem with the banking system. Now, again, remember, I'm gonna remind everybody if they don't remember 2008, they kept telling us everything's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And then all of a sudden, everything collapses and it affected the entire worldwide economy. That's what's gonna happen again this time. You're gonna be told that everything's fine. This is the Ed Sullivan Show with the spinning plates, and eventually they all stop and break and they all crash. That's what's happening before our eyes right now, guys. So get yourself ready for this and prepare yourself. Make sure you don't have a tremendous amount of money in these banks. You've got to be leery of this and protect yourself. You have to have a relationship with a bank. As much as we push on this channel and other channels talk about fiscal responsibility and paying your bills off, one thing you need to look at right now with your bank accounts and your credit cards is that these banks will start closing accounts for what they call inactivity. Same thing with the credit cards. If you've been diligent and you've paid your credit card off, good for you, okay? That's where I'm at, okay? But go out and use the credit cards, because what the banks are going to start doing between now and the end of the year, and there's a great story about this, where they're going to start closing accounts for inactivity. And one thing I do, you know, I read Freight Times and Cargo Times and banking blogs and magazines, but they're starting to close credit cards for inactivity. So again, go charge $10 on your credit card. Let it cycle out, pay it off next month, and the card's active again. So be leery of this stuff, because this is happening right before your eyes. And again, make sure you have money in the house. Make sure you are prepared, because this is going to happen. Now, what's going to happen if your bank closes for 5-6 days, if there's a power outage? Okay? Be ready for this stuff, guys, because it could happen. Okay? Make sure you have cash, small bills, large bills, quarters, all that stuff in the house in case you need to go park someplace. So do yourself a favor, because this is important. Now, the ADP job report came out for October, and whoopee, we added 571,000 jobs. Dow Jones had predicted 285,000 jobs added for the month. Again, guys, this morning you get the report from last week, and you have almost 300,000 more people file first-time unemployment claims. So we're losing jobs every month, guys. There's a net loss every month. I don't know who they're trying to kid with this jobs report number, but we're not ahead of the game in any way, shape, or form. 185,000 of those jobs were in hospitality and leisure, amusement parks, restaurants, hotels, things like that. So again, it's off, okay? And people right now are getting really fed up when they go out. You're going to see a huge problem, my prediction, with all these Airbnb people that go out and we bought a house for Airbnb, it's to the hilt, and we're getting top dollar for it. Well, here's the thing that I'm seeing from people I know that have Airbnbs, is there's less and less and less bookings right now. So they're getting less clients right now, and these people paid top dollar for the real estate to go out and charge somebody top dollar to stay at their place a few days a week. So you're going to see people lose their homes as a result of this. Now, last month we talked about a thing called shadow inflation. And shadow inflation is when you spend money for something when you used to get something included and you don't get it. The biggest complaint right now is hotels, okay? Traveling. When you go out, and Airbnb is like this, you don't get to have, you know, no one's cleaning your room every day. Part of the, I think one of the best parts of going to a hotel, even if it's a Best Western, okay? It doesn't have to be a great hotel. They come and clean your room every day. You go out and, you know, you eat, you buy stuff, you come back and your room's clean, okay? Well, now it's not. It's your house. It's crap's all over the place, and you know, the shampoo's all over, and you know, it's not cleaned up. People are getting upset about this, and there's different groups, maid groups and different hospitality groups that are saying, hey, it's not fair that you're putting this pressure on us. It's not on you. It's on the hotel that are not paying you guys to clean the rooms anymore. So again, I can't stand this. I can't stand when you go to a place, you're gonna come and clean my room every day if we do this. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. Are you happy that they added 571,000 jobs last month through the ADP report? And again, ADP is a payroll service. I don't know why so much stock is put into this. I used ADP when I had employees. It was great company, fantastic, totally a great payroll company. But the fact that everybody puts so much stock in their payroll report is ridiculous, okay? So share your thoughts on all this stuff. Do you see the difference in the cutbacks? What a beautiful November day out here, man. It really is. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys, as I try to traverse the rocks and not get killed. One last thing with the banking situation, and that's this. With the economy going south, there will be more and more shenanigans, bank fraud, and different people trying to pull scams, especially now, between now and the end of the year. That's definitely going to happen. There is one that is absolutely brilliant, where Bank of America has a transfer and a payment platform called Zelle, Z-E-L-L-E, okay? Never used it, not familiar with it. But one thing that people are falling victim of is that people are getting notified via text that there's been potential fraud in their account and they need to log into their Zelle account. Now what they do to really just push this home is they call the customer and say, hey, listen, this is Johnny from Bank of America. You could be the potential, fraud victim. Log into your Zelle account and transfer it to XYZ. Now, you'd have to be an idiot to do that, but that being said, a lot of smart people fall victim to this. Now, if this happens to you, there's a thing called phishing where they send you an email and you click on it, they know your whereabouts. Some can even, get information from your phone right then. So you need to be very careful of things like that. And call the bank, just call the bank. Call the 800 number at your local bank and see if this is real or not, okay? Because that'll answer it for you. So good luck on all that stuff. The other thing is, if you right now are a moderate sized company and you've got a relationship with a bank and you've got a line of credit, they're taking care of your payroll even, go and interview a new bank right now. I would totally do that. If, let's say you have a $25,000 line of credit or more, go to the new bank and tell them that you're interviewing new banks and that you need a larger line of credit. Now again, it's not to go borrow the money from the new bank, it's to get set up in case XYZ bank shuts you down. And again, ask for more. Here's what we have, but here's what we need, okay? And the advantage to that is, the problem with banking is that it's like anything else. We need 25,000. Okay, well, we'll give you 15, which is not going to do it for you because you currently are using 25. So prepare yourself for this. Prepare yourself for these bank closures. Make sure you're ready. How would you pay your employees if your bank shut down? Seriously, okay? Do you have people that would be understanding for a week, 2 weeks? Wait a second, 3 weeks, a month? Come on. Nobody's that understanding, okay? Even if they're relatives, they're not that understanding. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. The banking situation is right before us, but we're seeing history repeat itself right now. And that is that all these warning signs are being shown to us over and over and over again, but this is different than last time. We're not gonna have that problem like we had in pesky 2008, and it's gonna be worse this time, guys. So share your thoughts on all this stuff. Be careful. If somebody reaches out to you from the bank, just call them back. Oh, well, call me on this number. No, I'll call the bank and find out if this is the case. The Fed just had its November meeting and decided to keep interest rates at the same level. They're going to start tapering, though, their quantitative easing and their asset purchases. Again, none of us believe this. They told us it was $120 billion a month. We found out it was $250 billion a month. So what does that mean, guys? Does it mean they're going to buy $220 billion instead? It's ridiculous. Be leery of the banks right now. You've been warned by everybody that this is not natural and not real. So get ready. I am going to close this video out with this last story, and that is Bruce Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen, the boss, whether you like him or not and his music, he is in talks with Sony Music to sell the rights to his record library, his recordings. Now, he could get anywhere from $330 million to $415 million as a one-time payment for the rights to his music. Now, music, there's different rights that you get. You get writing rights, you get play, you get live, you get all this stuff. Bruce Springsteen wants to cash in now and take advantage of this. One of the first artists to ever do this was, guess, David Bowie. David Bowie got $50 million up front and was one of the first people to do this and had a hedge fund invest into his music, and it was quite fascinating. Since then, there's been hundreds of artists that have done this, but Is Bruce Springsteen's music worth $430 million or 415, whatever I said? Anyways, share your thoughts on all this stuff. Be safe when it comes to the banking. Please do not forget to hit the like button. Please do not forget to hit the subscribe button. And also, guys, our email list is below. If you want a Webull account, it's free to get. You can trade cryptos on it. There's a few dozen cryptos that are on the Webull account. You can use the link below and sign up for that. Onward and upward, guys. I look forward to you. Send me emails. Reach out with any of your questions. I will see you guys very soon.